I'm EA Tischler, founder of New Horizons Golf Approach. Today, I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about how spine tilt angles relate to how your shoulders rotate in the golf swing. As we've already noticed, if I can go ahead and get set up and I create my primary tilt, we're going to notice that puts me in a position where I can swing on an inclined plane as that club orbits around me in the golf swing. Well, how does this affect our shoulders as we rotate? What we're going to notice is if I go ahead and I get set up, I create my primary tilt, and I create secondary tilt towards the target. This is going to encourage my shoulders to rotate in an out to in manner. Let's go ahead and see that from the down the line angle. Again, create the primary tilt first, secondary tilt leans towards the target. You can see this is going to get my shoulders to rotate in an out to in manner. If I go ahead and create primary tilt and then secondary tilt in the rearward direction, this is going to encourage me to swing my shoulders or rotate my shoulders in a more in to out manner. Again, from down the line it looks like this. Primary tilt, secondary tilt towards the target. You can see now my shoulders want to rotate more inside out. Keep in mind that everything happens in a matter of degrees. And because there are additional forces working in the golf swing beyond just how the shoulders rotate, we're going to find that it's necessary for us to have secondary tilt as we're coming down into the delivery stage and as that club moves through the ball. So somewhere in your golf swing you do have to create that secondary tilt. The question for the individual is when. And that's up to you. You have to understand that there's going to be a swing technique that you are able to reproduce more consistently, and whatever technique that is, you got to figure out when is the most important time to incorporate that secondary tilt into your golf swing. If you get it set up at address and you maintain it during the golf swing, there's a little compensation that needs to be made, or a little adjustment. If you're going to do it during the transition or downswing, I suggest you study the anchoring principles that we talk about in the Power 3 golf system within the New Horizons golf approach. Reason being is that if you can get your head to counterbalance that action as you're adding in that secondary tilt, it guarantees that that club's going to bottom out very close to or just in front of where it started. So as we're swinging, we got to make sure that if we're creating secondary tilt in the golf swing and if our head's moving, well then the bottom of the arc's going to move in the golf swing. If I move the top of that secondary tilt back in the golf swing, I got to restore it before I come to the golf ball. If it moves forward in the golf swing, well now I got to get it back somehow before that club goes to the ball. So anchoring your swing and using your head as a counterbalance point like we did in the pendulum technique is very important. You can see that if my head counterbalances pendulum action, as that club returns back through the golf ball, I'm going to have secondary tilt, but I'm also going to be able to get that club to ground on the ball and bottom out just in front of the golf ball. So if you're going to add that secondary tilt in during the transition or downswing, I really suggest you learn how to get anchored. Of course, for any swing style, anchoring is going to help you be more consistent, but especially in those that are adding that secondary tilt in the downswing. It's going to make sure that you can get your bottom of the arc reproducing time and time again.